Hello, hello, everybody. So as more attendants come in, let us know where you're from. We'll start with that. Let us know where you're from. Toss in your questions. We like to keep these webinars really kind of conversational and fun. So, oops, wrong one. Let me see more. Make two panelists. All right. Yeah. So, like I said, tell us where you're from. Tell us why you're here. You know, what brought you to this presentation and how we can solve some of this today. We're going to be providing some super high level trainings for you guys to ingest and learn from. And we would love it if you guys would participate, right? Give us your questions, give us your thoughts. Don't be shy. Toss them in the Q&A. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. And if you have a conversation, throw them in the chat. So it's a little bit different. We'll be doing each of those. Ruben is with us as well. He's going to be a panelist on here. So we'll have people answering questions. I believe Ruben and Ina may be helping us with that. Ruben, hey, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Darius. Hello, Nina. Hello to all the people that have joined us in this webinar. I just checked the data and we had almost 200 people register for this webinar, which is phenomenal to see. We love to see that type of engagement, that type of interest. Nina, we are so fortunate to have you as part of our community and to have you as a leader, as a motivator, as someone that's guiding us through this treacherous world of video marketing. It's extremely challenging. I talk to people all the time how they just suffer from fear and they don't know what gear to use and they don't know if they should do videos outside or inside, or there's so many kind of question marks that people have with respect to video marketing. You come to us with a background in filmmaking and in business and business development, partnerships, and you've got such a cool New York / European vibe. So we really appreciate it. And I just wanted to start out just by really talking about this idea of getting into a routine, because that's one of the things that I've learned from Nina, of getting this idea of videos. We are who we are, and that we are who we are on video. And if we kind of break that wall or break some of those fears or break some of those concerns that we have, that we don't look good enough or we don't sound good enough or our content is not interesting enough, if we can kind of transcend that, all of a sudden we've got this extremely powerful medium at our fingertips that's made so easy with simple devices. Nina is going to teach us so much about how the tech that we already have in our pocket is all we need. And that naked videos, and Nina, I will let you describe what naked
naked, your clothes are off.
Naked videos are the future of video marketing, where everything, the way that Nina says it, is everything is naked. But the person, I forgot, I'm going to mess it up here. So Nina, take it away. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Darius, did you want to say a couple words, or should I just?
Yeah. So what I was going to do real quick is, for those of you that are brand new to Dubb, I am going to provide just a quick tutorial about what the latest and greatest we can do with Dubb, and then some of the more of this training that Nina is going to provide might make a little bit more sense and help hit home, because I'm going to show you like the technical how, and then Nina's going to cover the strategical, conceptual how. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to start with a little visual here. Like I said, guys, Q&A or questions, anything question related, please throw it in the Q&A, and please ask your questions. Don't hesitate. And same thing with chat. Anything you guys have in chat, feel free to conversate. So
one of the things that I'll chime in on here is that please tell us, I don't know, Darius, if you've mentioned this, but if not, folks, please do this. Please just leave a comment and tell us where you're tuning in from. So what city, what country you're coming in from, we'd love to know. And then also very specifically, what are some of the problems that you're facing and what some of your goals are? Exactly. Because what we'll do is we'll kind of look at that information in real time and just make sure that we're addressing those things. If there's any topics that you would like for us to reference in this webinar, throw them there. If you have specific questions where you want to have an answer, as Darius mentioned, please put it in the Q&A. I'm actually going to be monitoring the chat for a little while here, so I will be responding. Thanks again.
Cool. Thank you, Ruben. All right, here we go, guys. So what I'm going to do is just briefly, really quickly explain what Dubb's mission, what Dubb solution provides is giving individuals and businesses the ability to leverage video messaging. So video emails, text messages, social media, and that's why I use the term messaging, because it's really any communication you're doing with your customers and clients can contain video. So enabling you to leverage video messaging for your business professionally and efficiently. So a couple of components here. The first part is the creation component. So Dubb gives you the ability to create videos with just 1 or 2 clicks wherever you are. So you're in Chrome, you're on your desktop, you're on your iPad, you're on your iPhone, your Android, wherever you're most comfortable, we're going to give you the tools to create the videos there. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate the desktop functionality here. So if you're on your computer, we have a Chrome extension that allows you to record everything on your screen. You can include your webcam down there, just like this, you can see. Hold on, wait, actually make sure just once. Okay, yeah. You can record your webcam down there. This can be your profile picture. It can even be just your voice if you want. I like using my webcam, so let's leave that on. And here's how the recording functionality works. I just hit record, does a little countdown, and now I'm recording everything on my screen in this case, but I can record part of the screen. I can record just the current tab. I could say, hey, Nina, I saw we had 30 mutual connections. That's pretty cool. I wanted to reach out to you for XYZ. Check out the video after this one and let me know what you think. So you'll see why I said those words here in that video, but that is as easy as video creation can be. So just 1 click, hit record, and then you can record either your webcam, your screen, or both right on your desktop. Same thing goes with mobile. So if you're on the mobile app, open the app, hit record, and then the video is ready to upload. You can also take any video from any source, whether that's YouTube, your computer, your cell phone you've already recorded on there, a videographer shot it for you. Wherever you're at, you can upload those videos to Dubb as well. And here's the second component of what Dubb does. So we talked about the creation really quickly, Chrome extension, mobile app, or anywhere you're at, you can take your videos from. And the next step is the customization of your videos. So you can see here what Dubb did. I took 5 seconds to make this video for Nina, and Dubb wrapped it all up with everything we could need for my business goals. So you can see my logo there. This is an exit intent pop-up. So when I went to leave the page, it appeared with my call to action buttons and my branding, watermark, custom background, custom video page. The playlist here is one of the most important parts. This is really powerful for leveraging existing content. So you saw in my video when I mentioned, check out the video after this one and let me know what you think. And in this case, at the end of this video, it automatically goes into the next one. Video after this one. Dubb can be used. And then in this video, this is where we have pre-production. So we have lots of animations and graphics and really cool stuff in this video. So that way I'm able to get the best of both. I have a fully produced kind of pre-recorded video, and I sandwich that together with my custom videos like that I made for Nina here in a matter of seconds. And so that's what the playlist feature is for. And then you can see here we have some testimonials that come after that. So you can have as many videos in there in the playlist. The other part of this page is the call to action buttons, because as part of this webinar, you guys are going to learn is when we're creating videos, it's to help create conversations and conversions and opportunities. So it's not just, hey, educate and inform, like that's always a goal, but it is also to create really specific actions and conversions from those videos. And that's where the playlists and the buttons can really help. So anything you want someone to do, we can set up a button to do so. This one's a direct calendar integration, so they can book a time, they can fill out a form, download an attachment, make a phone call, text message, email, send you a video, like literally anything you can think of, they can do so through these buttons here. So the actions you're trying to drive, we can set the page up to help do so in a very automatic way. So you saw I created the video in a few seconds. Dubb customizes the whole page exactly based on what I'm trying to accomplish, which is appointments. But let's say if you have a different use case, I can easily come back and switch this template out to a completely different template, and it's going to change everything on this page. So the base video remains the same, the video I created for Nina there. But like, let's say instead of trying to drive an appointment, I wanted to drive Nina to a webinar. So I can change the template, and now you can see it's a kind of webinar background. There's a webinar video, webinar button. So it instantly changed everything on that page based on my preset and what I'm trying to accomplish. So that is what Dubb does in terms of video customization. It wraps up every part of your video from top to bottom with really specific, powerful content to help you drive conversations and conversions and actions from your videos. So that is the customization. Again, we can do it, individually on videos. We recommend building presets like templates to really help save time and be efficient and effective. So 2 things we've covered now: creation, which is the Chrome extension, mobile app, or anywhere else you get your videos from. including YouTube or videographers or whatever. We talked now about the customization of your videos, which is literally every single part of the video, from the thumbnail to the preview. Actually, let me cover thumbnails real quick. When you're sending this video through an email, a text message, social media, it's really important how that actually shows up in the message. And this is, again, what Dubb allows you to add some customization. So I can say video for Nina. And you can see in Nina's inbox, whether it's in her LinkedIn or her email or whatever, this is going to be much more interesting than just say a plain link or plain text. It's going to be something she immediately recognizes and is going to be much more likely to click on. And it only took me a few seconds to make that and put it together with some pre-recorded videos. So that's, again, one of the layers of customization is the preview of the video. And then you can customize the entire experience of the video, including the player, the buttons, the videos, all of it. That's all based on your templates to be efficient. The last part here that I'm going to quickly cover is the distribution. Okay, so Dubb's, we created an awesome video with the Chrome extension or the app, or maybe someone recorded it for us. And now Dubb's wrapped it all up all professionally with our calendar button, or whatever we're trying to drive, collecting reviews or whatever the use case. Dubb's wrapped it all up. And then now we're ready to distribute this video. So whatever channel you're already using, whether you're a Gmail or Outlook or a CRM, or you live in LinkedIn or Facebook, regardless of where you're at, we're going to meet you exactly where you work and give you the ability to send this video with just 1 or 2 clicks. So Outlook, for example, we have that direct integration here. So if I'm in my Outlook or Gmail or one of these popular email tools, so let me delete this video there, I can just click the integration, and that gives me instant access to everything I recorded previously. So if you're in Outlook, it's as easy as 1 to send. Gmail is the same thing. So we have direct integration there. We also have direct integration with channels like LinkedIn. So if you're in Messenger, or if you're in LinkedIn Navigator, Sales Navigator, or Recruiter, you're going to see there's a little Dubb icon right inside of the favorite tool that you're using. So this is one of the first methods of the distribution, is the direct integrations we have. So Gmail, Outlook, HubSpot, Salesforce, some of the most popular channels out there, we have direct integration just like this, 1-click access to your library, or even recording videos right inside your favorite tool. That is the first method. The other way here is the universal copy and paste method. So when I say universal, I'm saying literally universal. So if you're using some random email tool that no one's ever heard of, we can put a video in it. If you're using, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Mac Mail, whatever, I can literally just keep naming different messaging tools. We can use this copy for email button, and we're going to be able to put a video into that channel, just like that. Press copy, go into your channel. I'm going to use Outlook here as the example, but you can use your imagination here. This is your favorite email tool we're looking at, WhatsApp or Skype or anything where you can send a message. All you have to do is press copy and press paste, and that video is going to be ready to send. If that lets images show or not, that's one thing. If the tool allows for images, it may or may not, but that one copy button is going to give you the options you need to either include the image along with the link, or just the link if it doesn't allow for images. So there's the other method, universal copy and paste. So if you have a question, is it going to work with this tool? The answer is yes. The last thing here is going to be distribution of what Dubb provides in-house. So you can actually build campaigns for bulk sending right inside of Dubb. So here's some examples of those. I can send one video to a whole list of people. Like this one, you can see went out to almost 25,000 people. This one went to 100 people. So we can connect different emails. So like I can connect my Gmail or my Outlook directly to Dubb and send out campaigns on my behalf. So lots of benefits for this. I won't go over too much detail about the sending through your own emails, but there's a ton of benefit from sending from your own personal emails, including increased deliverability and things like that. But this is the other way Dubb provides: bulk sending and also automated sending. So this little example I'm going to show you is an example of a workflow. This is 4 text messages that go out automatically based on some rules that I've built here in Dubb. So the rules are, it just adds a delay of 2 days, and then another delay, and then another delay. So that means anyone that signs up to Dubb and puts their cell phone, they get a text message 1, 2, 3, 4, a few days apart for the duration of their trial. So this is the last way that we can send videos that built into Dubb is through automation. These can be texts, emails, they can be simple delays, or they can be if-then statements. That is the automated way. So I'm gonna work backwards here. We talked about all the different ways Dubb can distribute your videos. One is automation, like I just showed you here, automatic sequences of emails. The other one is bulk sending, so I can send out big blasts of one video to a whole list of people, and they're gonna get a personalized email. Or I can use the direct integration with all my favorite tools like LinkedIn or Gmail or Outlook or whatever. And then universal copy and paste. So no matter what tool you're using, we can press copy and paste into your favorite tool, and we're gonna get the same level of information. So that's the last part here is once we've sent the video, Dubb actually provides all the tracking you could want to see how those perform. So let me show you here. If I go to view, you can see specifically who watched, who clicked, what percentage of that they watched. Like this is the email we sent for this webinar. And you can see, I can filter it by who watched and who clicked and things like that. And that's gonna show us really granular analytics. We can see specifically how the video performed and also down to individual contacts and how they perform. So that is all the ways Dubb can send the videos. All your favorite channels, text message, email, social media, direct integration, and bulk sending. So that is a super, super fast tutorial of what Dubb does to enable businesses to leverage video messaging. And it's really all three of those in one because each of them are really a crucial component to the other. We want to be able to make the video, package it up professionally, and then distribute and track it all in one place. This is like 10 different pieces of software in one, right? Like you have your video creation tool, like your whatever you're using for that. And then you have like your iMovie or something to edit it. And then you have your landing page builder to build your landing pages. And then you're uploading the video to YouTube. And there's like 15 different steps that Dubb does in one. And so that's really one of the major benefits there is just like I said, ease of use and efficiency. Okay, that is it for the super fast demo. Super technical, like I said, I know, but we also have so much more information about the rest of the platform, but that's not what this training is about as much as the technical side of it. It's more about video marketing in general. So I don't want to dive any deeper into the technical side. We're happy to answer these questions. We hold live trainings, tons and tons of resources to go really technical, but let's at this time go ahead and switch over to Nina, and she's going to provide us, as I mentioned, some more of the conceptual strategic side of video marketing. So thank you guys for that quick demo. As I said, any questions, throw them in the Q&A. We'll get them taken care of. And then any conversational stuff, put it in the chat for us.
All right, my turn.
All right, Nina, you ready to take us away?
Yep, I am.
Spell video marketing for us and go. No.
Great. Okay, thank you, Darius. And you know, it's actually, I just learned a couple of things too, because I forgot about the sequencing of videos, and I need to start using that because that is actually, I remember how excited I was about that, and I haven't used it yet.
Yeah,
anyway.
I made stuff. Go ahead.
Yep, all right.
I'm gonna shut me off now. Your turn.
Yeah, just mute yourself, Darius. There we go.
There we go.
All right, so welcome everybody. I'm very excited to be here. I am a big Dubb user, so I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm also here. And I was invited to share some of my knowledge with you. So as Ruben had mentioned, I am a filmmaker, so I am the real thing. I'm not just some kid off the block, not that I'm a kid anymore, from around the block who decided to do some video marketing, which is a blessing and can be a curse because sometimes when you know too much, then you overcomplicate things. So my life's purpose is to simplify video marketing such that my clients can and my community can create video marketing consistently and be able to keep up with it without getting overwhelmed. So there's great tools like we just saw with Dubb, but there's a little bit more to it. So I want to dive into that. And before I do that, and I have only one slide, I'm not going to bore you with a lot of slides, but I have one slide. And before we do that, however, I want to address what Ruben talked about, which is the naked video series, because I saw a couple of people commented that they were interested in learning more. So Just very short and succinct. The naked video series is the only thing naked in the naked video series is the video, not me. So that means the video being naked is it. I'm not editing those videos anymore. So I've been tinkering with ways to not drive myself nuts, because I have other things to do too than create video for myself, with how I could come up with daily video posts on LinkedIn that were such that I could do them quickly, but they still had to look professional. And that's how I came up with a naked video series. And I'll talk a little bit about that as I go through my presentation, because it'll sort of naturally flow in there. But just to sort of satisfy your curiosity, the naked part is the video, not me. Thank God. All right, so I want to share this slide. Let's see if we can make this happen. Share, not leave. That would be bad. All right, is everybody seeing the slide? Can somebody give me feedback?
I can see the slide.
Yay. Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you, Darius. All right. So, so this is how I go about video marketing. I try to keep it very simple. I try to keep it focused, and I try to make sure that people understand which part in the video marketing reel they're in, so they kind of know what they're focusing on at any given moment. So step number one is strategy. And I know it's kind of boring, and it's not just a video thing, it's an overall marketing thing, is you need a solid strategy, because without that, you're just shooting, you know, in all directions, and you have literally and figuratively, and you have no clue what you're really doing. So strategy, super important. We'll spend a little time on that. Then storytelling or content creation. What do you want to say? More importantly, what do you want people to do after they've finished watching your video, which informs what you're going to say. And then step number 3 is shooting. And we'll get into that a little bit. I keep it, as Ruben said earlier, extremely simple, because I don't want people to get caught up with expensive equipment and lots of equipment. I just want to keep it short, snappy, and such that you capture good video and not get hung up on very complicated workflows. Editing is probably the most difficult one to wrap your brain around, or the most costly one, depending on whether you are in a do-it-yourself mode or you outsource it. I'll have some thoughts on that. And then we go to distribution. Distribution, I normally talk about 2 parts of distribution. One part is the actual hosting and posting part, which is the technical aspect. But then there's also the strategic part of it, in terms of at what time am I posting, where am I posting, and all those things. And really the distribution goes back into strategy. And to me, the distribution and strategy part are kind of one and the same. So let's start with storytelling. Let's start with strategy. So the single most important thing is I want you to be super clear on why you are doing what you're doing and where your audience is hanging out. And with your audience, I don't mean everybody or everybody, between 30 and 45. That's not really an audience. When I talk about audience, I'm talking extremely as niche as you can possibly get. Who is your audience? Are they service providers? Are they, in my case, it's like mission-driven service providers of a certain age. I very clearly, with what I do, I speak to people around my age, because that is to whom how I present myself and how I package my offerings. And then the next question would be, so once I have defined my audience, where is my audience? Is this an audience that is on Facebook? Is this a LinkedIn audience? Is this a Instagram audience? Mine, for instance, hangs out on LinkedIn. I would do one platform really, really well. And this is advice that I didn't take my own advice for quite a while. And now that I live on LinkedIn. And now that I do LinkedIn really, really well, and I focus on LinkedIn, I engage in LinkedIn, I make sure that the people who watch my videos have a reason to engage with me. And I make it as easy as possible for them to engage with me by asking questions, by giving them something to do. And since I do that, I now get all my clientele from LinkedIn and with ease. Yes, I am on Facebook. Yes, I am on Instagram, but that is more like a calling card. It's like my website. It's just a place where people can go and see, oh yeah, she's also there. She's bona fide, whatever. But that my actual, interaction happens on LinkedIn in my case. And that's paying off really well. What it also does is I now know that my videos are all going to be shot in a horizontal format. I know that my thumbnails are going to be horizontal first and foremost. So it just also sort of informs from a strategic point of view, what my shooting and then my editing is going to look like. So if I can land on LinkedIn and say, this is my primary, then I can make sure that everything I do in the process is geared towards optimizing that platform. And I really want you to keep that in mind because that's hugely important. And we could go into the different formats of the different platforms. I think that goes beyond the time we have here. So I'm going to move into the storytelling part. And Ruben, Darius, if there are questions that are super relevant to what I'm saying, I'm happy to address them now rather than later, because they might fit in better right now in the flow of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I imagine there might be some questions about what you were just talking about, which is the file formats for different channels. Because we have this conversation a lot internally about like, what are we doing? Square? Are we doing horizontal? Are we doing vertical? So that is actually probably a big point that people may have some questions about. But if we don't have any right now, go ahead and continue. And if we jump back into them, we'll answer them in the Q&A here.
Absolutely. Yeah. If we have time for that, I'm happy to get into that a little bit. I mean, a lot of it is common sense, but absolutely. Thank you.
And Nina, real quick, just so you know, there was a question about creating a content calendar.
Yes.
So how do we come up with topics and keywords based on competitors and interests and stuff like that? And then the second thing is video editing. What tools should we use for video editing? You know, Dubb is not a video editing tool. There's trimming. You can trim the beginning, clip in the middle and the end, but that's sort of the extent of it. Our mobile app has real-time editing. So the editing happens while you're recording it. So I think some folks would like to learn how to do some post-production editing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll address that as when we get to the editing part. And very happy to talk about the content calendar because that's actually where we're headed. So with storytelling, content creation, same thing. So content calendar, and that obviously also goes into strategy. It sort of lives on the cusp between the two. So in the beginning, so I've been doing, video marketing now for about 5 years, right? Coming out of being a filmmaker, getting into, content marketing and into video marketing, really like a fish out of water. Yes, I was a filmmaker, but I was a producer of big shows. So I always had a crew. I had people that I paid and they did everything for me. I just, pulled on the strings and put people together and, all that kind of stuff. So in doing myself and learning myself, in the beginning, it was just like, I just shot video and I threw it up on social media. And if something stuck, great. What I learned over the couple of years I've been doing this now is having a content calendar is important. If only that you are clear on, it depends a little bit on what your sales cycle is. If your sales cycle is a quick one, like you're filling, let's say, some courses, seminars, cohorts, challenges, stuff like that, you want to be very purposeful with your content calendar. I have a simple Excel spreadsheet that has blossomed into this major Excel spreadsheet, but it started as a row of date, content, and then notes. And now it's like this long thing. But case in point is if I know that I am starting a video challenge on November 2nd, Monday, November 2nd, I'll put that into my content calendar as a placeholder. And then I will go backwards for a couple of weeks and say, okay, when am I announcing it? When am I putting up video or other content that speaks to the video challenge? And how much do I just talk about the benefits of what a group activity is, or the benefits of doing something consistently, or the benefit of what can happen if you do put out consistent video content on a platform for your business, how you can measure the return on investment. And then when am I talking about actual, hey, yo, guys, here I am, I'm having a video challenge, please join me. So much more salesy. So it really is worth it to plan that out. And the planning out also helps you to be consistent, and consistency is really, if I've learned anything in the last couple of years, consistency is sort of the kingdom to having return on investment on your video. And it's not just video, it's any content, right? So it's just being consistent on a platform, posting consistently. And video obviously is just the one place where you really can show yourself and how you are, and people can get a sense of how it is to work with you. And this is mostly for service-based providers, which is, what I work with to 99.9% of the time. So content calendar, very important just for your own sanity. So you kind of know like, oh, I'm giving a webinar today with Dubb. So I'm going to start talking about that maybe a week out and tell people to sign up for it. So, I mean, I could go on content calendars forever.
I was going to say, it's almost like having your schedule, having not a schedule that day. You're like, you don't know when your phone calls are, you don't know when your appointments begin and end. Yep. It's no way to go about your day. And your content creation is the same thing. You need to have a target, you need to have a laser focus. So you know what you're doing and when it's going to be done. And then you have due dates, you have obligations that is going to help you get those things accomplished. Like I said, the equivalents, look at your daily calendar, you have your appointments, and imagine the lines blurred on those. You don't know when one phone call is ending or what the phone call was about. It'd be a nightmare. So content is the same thing. And if you don't have one, then that's like the nightmare you're looking at is no kind of schedule. So block it out.
Absolutely, Darius. And I think, it's also, it's also in the beginning when you're not that, in a routine yet with your content, what really is helpful is to maybe do a tip Tuesday or a fun fact Friday or a, throwback Thursday. It doesn't matter. Just give yourself a structure. And I did that in the beginning. Did I keep up with the structure? Absolutely not. But when I was lost or I didn't have something to announce, or I wasn't sure what my next video was going to be about, it helped me to go back to that structure and say like, oh, I can come up with 10 tips on, how to do better XYZ, or 10 most frequently asked questions, or the 10 questions people should be asking, they're not asking. So, and if you do these kinds of little series until you get more fluent with your content creation, that's a great way to sort of get into the flow of it. And you will find that the more you are online, the more you engage with the people that are engaging with you, the more ideas you will have, and the more at this point, I have so much content. I could be posting 4 times a day, and I'm not because I have other things to do. But the more you post, the easier it gets with the content. That's what I want to say. Also really important, and again, single most important thing with your content is have a call to action at the end of your video. Now, with a service like Dubb, you have that call to action button, but you actually want to have something in your video. And when a lot of people, when they hear call to action, they immediately recoil and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell. A call to action can be salesy, but in 95% of the cases, it probably isn't. A call to action can be, please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about live streaming versus pre-produced video, whatever your video was about, right? Ask your audience a question at the end of every single video, because the purpose why you're doing the videos, I'm assuming, is to engage people with you so they will eventually buy from you or engage with you or work with you. So having a call to action to make it easy for people to talk to you and to start a conversation with you without that, ooh, this is really salesy, I don't know whether I want to talk to her, I don't want to buy from her. A lot of people are not ready to buy from you. They first want to look at you, sample you, see what you're all about. And how many people do I have that have been in my orbit for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden it goes click, now I need Nina's services, and then I'm ready. But if I hadn't asked questions and engaged with them all the time, that would not have happened. They probably would have gone somewhere else. So the call to action is really, 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 really important.
This is every video, guys. This is every single one. Like I said at the beginning, you know, when you're creating a video, you have a really specific intention of why you're doing that. I mean, you have your overall thing. I want money. I want sales. Yeah. But there's a reason you created that particular video. And it's because you're looking for people to engage with it. You're like, hey, tell me what you think about this below, or like what Nina described. That verbal call out, that verbal call to action is equally, if not more so important than the buttons below. Because like if you're putting it on LinkedIn, they may not see those buttons when we're uploading it natively. And the verbal call to action is like I said, super, super important. So I didn't stress that enough in my little demo, that the verbal call to action is always as important in the video. Like click the buttons below, that's a call to action as well. So whatever you want them to do, you absolutely got to instruct them in there to do so at the end or even in between the video.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are like, yeah, but I want to give value. I don't want to be salesy. And again, just engaging with people is not being salesy. Engaging with people is just having a conversation and being human, right? So that's all that is about. So that is something, if that is a hang up you have, please don't.
Yeah. A lot of that's imposter syndrome, I think, like that. Like, you know, if you have that, if you truly believe in your service and your product and what you're doing, you know that every little bit of information you're providing for them is helping them. You're like, I can help you make more money in your business. I have that so deeply in my belief system with Dubb that I'm like, what do you mean you're not doing video? Or what do you mean you don't believe in video? It's just like, it's like this thing to me, like I can't even understand it. So you guys should feel the same way about your service. You're, you know, believe in yourself to that level where there's never a question when you're providing somebody information about your services that, is it being salesy or not? It's like, no, you're helping them. You're pushing them towards the betterment of themselves and yourself. So you're doing everybody a favor by, you know, but there's salesy, there's levels to it, you know? So if you're saying buy, do you want to buy? And you don't even know the person, like that's salesy, right? There's definitely some levels there, but you're always wanting to provide value, always wanting to provide information. Ruben, I know you were trying to get a word in there and we were trying to cut you off. Did you sorry about that, buddy. Go ahead.
Actually, thank you, Darius. My favorite part of this slide, Nina, is actually your logo in the center. And what's very interesting and metaphorical about that is I think the reason why we wanted to connect with you and to do this webinar is that you are top of mind for us. When we go onto LinkedIn, we see your posts on your balcony, in your office. We see those videos and it reminds us of you, and it reminds of us Clockwise Productions, your firm. And it is the best thing. And it's the best thing. It's the next best thing, I should say, to you. And it's done in the most non-salesy way, but also effective way. So thank you for staying top of mind for us with
you're welcome.
Cycle here.
And I've done my job. And again, and you know, and this is also something that we're as we're getting into shooting, if you do consistent video and you do a lot of video, you cannot keep it up if you're not being yourself. And I remember when I did my very first video shoot, I was, you know, I mean, being in front of the camera, not behind the camera where I've been for 30 years. I was in my early 50s and I was like, damn it, like, you know, now I have to be in front of the camera. I could have done that like 30 years ago when I still had the, you know, the looks and everything. And I ran in my panic. I ran to a beauty parlor and got a facial, which I'd never done in my life before. Not only did I get a facial, I bought a 10-pack. But this is to say that, you know, you cannot, you know, yes, of course, makeup, hair, good lighting, something nice to wear. You want to be professional. You want to be your brand. But you also want to be the person that picks up the phone or comes onto a Zoom call when you talk to a prospect for the first time or with your clients. And for me, the biggest compliment is, and I just got it the other day from a client I'm working with now, Scott, who got on a Zoom with me and he was like, oh my God, you look just like you look in the videos. And I'm like, bingo, that's what I want. So in the beginning, my videos were super stilted. I did teleprompter. Shooting one video was like, I took my entire living room apart and put up lights and I bought like this baby teleprompter that was a pain in the ass. And after about a month or two of suffering through that, I realized like, No, I don't think so. And then I started shooting with my cell phone. I had a little desk tripod. I just sat at my desk. The background was whatever it was. Since I've changed it to my lovely blue background, and it made my life easier. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all this engagement, but with my videos, because people are like, oh, this woman is actually, can be funny when she's the way she is, and you either like her the way she is or not. But at least now when I talk to people, and I have people in prospects I'm talking to, clients, they know what they're getting. There's no surprises there. And I think that is really, really important. And just the other day, somebody said, like, I have all these great groups that I put together. And there's such a great way of you putting groups together and how these groups jive. And I'm like, well, they jive not because I cherry pick or handpick people. It's because those are the kinds of people that are attracted to working with me. And the likelihood of that working as a mix and match is fairly high. So don't try to be a version of yourself that you cannot sustain. Be yourself on video, be natural. And that is the only way you will be able to consistently put video out without driving yourself bonkers.
Authenticity. Sorry, Nina, to cut you off there. Authenticity is she again, this can't be overstated. You know, being yourself, being your authentic self, the teleprompter thing, like I see this time and time and again, that journey that Nina went through, everyone's probably gone through it if they're down a couple steps in video marketing. And it's a journey maybe you have to take for yourself, or you can learn from the mistakes that we've made. Like the teleprompter thing, like if you have this giant script to read, it's like, it's not going to come across as authentic if you're reading from it. People can see your eyeballs doing this, even if you really try to do it really well, like you can, maybe there's a perfect setup where they can't see your reading, but you probably can't do it. And it's probably going to take you hours to get it set up that way. So take our word for it here. Internalize your message, right? Speak from the heart. When you're on the phone or on a Zoom call with somebody, you're not reading a script. You're speaking as you would normally. And people are going to appreciate that and recognize that and resonate with that much more strongly than they will the news reading teleprompter thing. Yeah. So I was super guilty of this too, like writing this perfect, amazing script. And then you're like, well, now I have to deliver it. What the hell am I going to do? So there's nothing wrong with writing it out, but I recommend bullet points and then internalizing those bullets rather than trying to just read a perfect script. It's going to shoot yourself in the foot. Don't do that. Internalize your bullets and then get the message out. Speak from within, because like Nina mentioned, that's when you're connecting with these people, how these conversations are going to happen anyways. So I see a lot of women that would have like, they got to do full makeup and full hair and everything. It's like, don't do that to yourself either, because then you're setting the standard where I have to go to the beauty parlor every time I want to get on camera. And you're putting obstacles in front of yourself. So again, don't do that. Or what Nina had to reorganize her whole living room, that's an obstacle. That's like a 20, 30-minute obstacle you putting in front of yourself it's preventing yourself from succeeding. So remove all those obstacles that you can, make it as easy as possible for you to be yourself on video. So all those things at once, what Nina was just describing, is just some iteration on that. Authenticity and ease of use. If this is comfortable for you, then do it, right? Just make it a little bit nicer, like with a tripod, a decent light. It's like you wouldn't wear a tank top, right? You're gonna wear a shirt or something nice, that same level. You don't have to go extreme, fancy equipment, cell phone's good enough, but setting it versus like something like if you're holding it at your desk, that's not quite as nice as it being on a tripod. But there's nothing wrong with videos on the go either. So I'm saying there's nothing wrong with holding it, but if you can set it on a desk, there's all these little things. Okay, that's enough, sorry. Go ahead, Nina.
I'm like, okay, I'm like tick, tick, tick,
right?
tick. All right, thanks, Darius. So shooting, I mean, there's a million things that I could address. I'm trying to think what the best takeaway for everybody is right now. So just very quickly, be yourself, do the bullet points. I want to talk about three things actually that people get wrong, like as a real hands-on advice. So first of all, the light you have in your office is probably going to be enough because you're not working in the dark. You just want to make sure that you have the light hitting you from either, not quite from the front, but ideally from either side at a 45-degree angle. So, which in my case would be this here, and this is how I normally shoot my videos. What you do not want to do, and let me see if the cable's on my laptop right for this, you do not want to have the window behind you, because you see how my face is getting dark all of a sudden, and I just I look much more fuzzy than I did before. If I were to turn around all the way, you would see it even better. So make sure your light source is in front of you. ideally at a slight angle offset. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is framing. So right now I'm on a laptop with the Zoom call. So I always make sure that my head bumps up against the top frame. This does several things. It looks nice, and that's always important. But also it leaves all of this space here for closed captioning, which nowadays is hugely important. 80% of all videos are being watched on cell phones or mobile, and another 85% of those start on mute. So you definitely want to have closed captioning so people can follow along with what you're saying if they cannot turn on the volume. Let's say they're in the subway, not that anybody's in the subway anymore nowadays, but in a public space, or be it that you want to catch their attention, so they will turn up the volume. I normally frame myself just slightly off center. What that does, actually, in my case, it should be here because my light's coming from here. What that does is it creates this empty space here. And what this empty space does is two things. Number one, it gives me space for a logo, maybe even a graphic, maybe some keywords, and it creates the natural space that you and I, if we were talking one-to-one, have. There is in a human conversation when we were still meeting in person, there's a space between us when we talk, and it's pleasing to the eye, and it also creates a subconscious maybe that air of comfort to have sort of this space that you're speaking into. So if you can place yourself slightly off center, I think that's always much more pleasing than being dead center. And sometimes for Zoom calls, I'm dead center. And by the way, I would never shoot in a white shirt. Again, with closed captioning, it can be an issue. And sometimes the camera, when it goes on a really white shirt, then your face looks a little less good. I just ran out of time to change for this webinar. I normally will be wearing a dark blue or something like that.
That one's new for me. No white shirts. It's going to hide your captions. So cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can underlay your captions with a black thingy dingy, but it just looks nicer if and again, I'm never in favor of all black or all white. And even the cameras in your phone or in your laptop, they sometimes have a hard time grabbing your face if there's a stark contrast to something else. And this is the single most important thing, and this is where people who use teleprompters, cheat sheets, and etc. Get themselves into trouble. So right now I'm looking dead center at the green light that is on my laptop, and I'm talking to you. And now if I had a cheat sheet, I'd be looking over here, and then I come back to you, and then I go back again to my cheat sheet, and I come back to you. What that does, everybody sees that you're looking at a cheat sheet. Number two, it creates a disconnect, and I have to put the glasses back on because everything is it disconnects the intimacy or the connection that I'm creating with you. And don't ever think that people don't see it. If they don't see it, they feel it, because this is a subconscious thing. And they will see it because, again, 80% of people who watch you on your camera, like on your video, it's in the palm of their hand. So it's a very intimate, close range affair. So people will see if you are cheating. And lastly, with the teleprompter, and this may be a little too technical, but if you have a professional teleprompter, what happens is people are being put, like I would put a person here, give them the teleprompter, and then bring in a wide lens so I can shoot them from far away. And then when you read the teleprompter, the eyeballs don't go back and forth that much because the teleprompter is a little further. But if we're shooting with a teleprompter app that's on our laptop, on our phones, it's right here. And then you definitely can see the eyeballs going back and forth. So if you can, I'd rather have you shoot in small spurts and edit it together if you cannot memorize a longer script, which, for instance, I cannot. The videos that I have to shoot for the website where the text actually is important, that I stick with it, I have to shoot that in 4 or 5 bits and pieces. I cannot get that out. I'm terrible memorizing anything. And the naked video series are the things that I do more casual bullet points. And then if I'd rather have myself flub than be stilted and prompted or cheat sheeted or, you know, trying to memorize my script. All right, so I would love to go much further into shoot, but I think that right now I'm looking at the clock and we don't have that much more time. If you have questions, to ask me now or ask me later, but write them down maybe so you don't forget them. And if you have fancy ass equipment that you've never used, please pack it up, and if you still have the receipt, and return it. What you need is you need a phone or a desktop or laptop with a, you know, with a camera. And the only thing that I would get is something like this. This is just a standing tripod that is by nature designed to be high enough so when it stands on your desk, it actually, here, let me move the laptop away, that it is on eye height with you. And this is called, this is a switch pod. It was actually designed by a guy who's a very well-known video marketer himself, and he created it for people like us who want to shoot a lot of video and have a quick and easy setup. And by the way, it also, which is really cool, it folds together so you can use it as a selfie stick, which I rarely do. I'm all about setting it all neatly up and controlling the environment. Somebody said something about shooting inside versus outside. Unless you are a gardener or, you know, run a I don't know, a tree school somewhere, please be inside. It just gives you so much more control, especially over audio, meaning the sound that you're capturing. And since we're on the topic of sound, if you have a halfway decent computer like this right now, I don't have a professional microphone that I'm using. I'm just using the microphone from my laptop. It's a year-old MacBook Pro, fantastic microphone. Same goes for all the newer model. Like this is an 11, but even if you had a iPhone 6 or 7, you would still have really good quality. Same goes for Androids. The microphones that you buy on Amazon for you know, under $100 or even under $300 are not going to be as good as what you have built into your devices already. So unless you are far away from the camera, which if your service provider, there's no reason for that, be in front of the camera, then there's no reason to get an external mic. So an external mic is if you're outside and you need to you know, be close to your mouth with the mic so people can actually hear what you're saying, or if you are for some reason further away from the camera. Otherwise, whatever's built in is going to be just fine. And then lighting, as I said earlier, most of us have available daylight. If you have a nice desk lamp that you can use, especially now that we're going to winter and it gets dark, that suffices as well. I just bought this puppy here on Amazon. I'm very excited about it. It's a regular desk lamp, but it has this ginormous light let me turn on, light panel. So I'm going to be shooting with this, you know, come the next couple of months as it gets dark and yucky out. And, you know, I don't always want to have to shoot my videos at 10 a.m. I might want to shoot them at 3 p.m. when it already gets dark. All right, so we talked about eyeline. Yeah, also when you frame yourself, last point, make sure that you are on the same height with your eyes as the camera is. So you want that to be a straight line, so you don't inadvertently talk down on people or talk up. It just both doesn't look great. You want to be on equal footing and on equal eye height with your sparring partner, so to speak, the person you're talking to. I'm going to move on to editing, if that's okay. Any questions on shooting that I should answer now? All right.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We're good. Okay, great.
Yeah,
awesome.
we're keeping up on the questions.
Okay, good. So editing is really, that is always the hardest one for me to talk about. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, think about your workflow. So with workflow, I mean, you're shooting a video and now what, right? So the video now sits either on your desktop do you know where it sits on your desktop? If you shoot with Dubb, it's very easy because with Dubb, you know, you have a platform and that's where your video lands. And Dubb, which I love, by the way, with Dubb, it gives you that little countdown so you can, you know, position yourself, hit the button, and then be ready, right? So, oh, I'm one more thing on shooting. Sorry, I want to mention that when you're done with the delivery of your script, do not ever look away immediately and be like, oh my God, I'm done. Thank God. What that does is you have no way to end your video nicely. You need a place at the end where you can cut out, like trim your video. So if you go like, oh, and please leave a comment below, bye, I have nothing to edit, because as I'm saying bye, I'm already turning my head now. Where am I going to edit that without it looking idiotic? So when you're done with your video, you say bye-bye, or whatever it is that you do. That's what I do. Bye-bye. And now I'm done. And that any editor, and including yourself, will love you for doing that. So that's just another piece of advice back to editing. So workflow. So yes, so you shoot your video is now on your phone or it's on your desktop. Where does it go from there? So if you want to stay all in phone, there are a lot of apps you can use where you can trim, sometimes even edit a video in your phone. One of the apps that most of my clients use, and I use sometimes, is called InShot. So IN and then Shot, SHOT. I think it's like $3.99 dollars, and it works for Android and for iOS, for iPhones. And it has a lot of really great features. You can trim your videos. You can, if you have a whole section of rambling in the middle, which I have all the time, you can throw that out. It allows you to upload your logo without a background, to layer it over. It does not do closed captioning. Closed captioning very often is a separate software. So InShot is a great place to edit your video. You can even reformat it, so you can export it once in horizontal, once in square, once in vertical, if you're uploading it to different platforms. And as I said, it allows for this logo overlay, which is my favorite thing. If an app can do a logo overlay, then I'm in love. You can also play with the speed of your video. You can put filters on it, all stuff that I don't suggest you do, but it has that capability. iMovie on iOS is a very good software as well. iMovie, last I checked, which is a couple of weeks ago, did not allow you to overlay a logo, which for me, it renders it kind of unusable, because if I'm doing a business video, the one thing I want on there is my logo. Once you edit with something like InShot or iMovie, you can export and then you import it into a closed captioning software. So on my phone, I use something called, I think it's called Mixed Captioning. There's tons of them out there, and I would caution about doing it on your phone, because what it does do is, first of all, you're now changing your text and fixing your text with your thumbs, which is never a great experience, no matter how small your hands are on a smartphone. Number two, once it's done, it takes about 3 to 4 minutes to render it, meaning it's, the machine is calculating what you did. During that time, you cannot use your phone. So if you're doing a quick video somewhere, like you're on the road, inspiration struck, or you're at an event, you want to get out a video, by all means, keep your production, your workflow cycle in your phone, and you really can pretty much get a professional, super good looking video out on having done it all on your phone. But if you're doing videos, and I would strongly suggest you batch produce, so don't just shoot one video, try and get 4 or 5 of them done always in one go. It'll save you huge amounts of time. You want to make sure that you then do the work process on your laptop or your desktop, just because then you're not stuck with, you know, your phone not being usable, or each time you render out the video, you now are sitting, you're doing 5 videos, you're now waiting 5 times 3 minutes for it to be done. So if you're editing in your on your desktop, there are a lot of different softwares you can use. I find, for instance, iMovie Desktop extremely frustrating. So what I normally do is, if I do want to edit a video that I want to finish on my desktop and do a bulk affair, I will trim it in my phone, because that's quick and easy. Trimming meaning I'm cutting off the beginning and the end of the video just to clean it up a bit. Then I'm exporting it to my desktop. The fastest way to do it on a Mac is with Apple Play, much faster than maybe trying to save it on your phone up to Google Drive or Dropbox. That's possible too, it just takes a little longer. And then I finish the process of putting captions on it and putting graphics on or whatever on my desktop. And for desktop software, I use Premiere Pro. It's a fully loaded, fully professional software. I would not recommend for the casual user, unless you're making a hobby out of it, to use that. That's where I will go and work with a professional editor. And a professional editor will save you so much time in the long run if you set them up properly with everything you want from them, and with templates. So, you know, this is where my logo goes. This is where my closed captioning is. This is my font that I'm using. These are the colors I'm using. This is where my title goes. If I have a slide that goes in, I'm sitting on purpose like this, so the slide can go here. Make sure that you are very, you know, that you give your editor very airtight instructions as to what you want them to do and what your deliverables are. Do you want your video with the closed captioning and naked without any? Do you want your video, do you want your graphics on the side? Do you want a separate thumbnail, or do you want the thumbnail integrated into the video? Do you want all of it above separately? Those are just things that you want to be clear on. And again, that depends on where are you posting the video. So on LinkedIn, you can post a video the way it is. You can post a video and separately upload a thumbnail. And the thumbnail is just a visual representation, a graphic, like a JPEG or PNG, although I recommend a JPEG, of your video. So very often it's just a title of the video with an image of what is in the video behind it. So on LinkedIn, I can upload a closed captioning file separately from the video. So I don't need to edit the video. I can just upload the video to a platform like rev.com or otter.ai, get my closed captioning file, which is a so-called SRT file, and then just upload them both separately, or I mean together, but separately on LinkedIn. So I don't need to edit, which saves a lot of time.
I was going to say, Dubb can generate your captions automatically as well. So we
right. Yes, it can, which is very cool. But once you download it, you lose the caption, right?
No, you can download the SRT file. And like if you're for LinkedIn, you would just download and upload the SRT file separately on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a really great feature. And I mean, the one thing I love about you guys is that you just keep making it better and better. So
yeah, always improving.
Yep. Which is important to stay in business, right? So I know with the editing, so, you know, I don't want to overwhelm anybody. I just want to say, if you are in the do-it-yourself field, edit in your phone and shoot such that you don't need to do a huge edit. So if the video that you're shooting, if you have to shoot it 4, 5, 6, 7 times to get one clip that you like and that you can use, it is so worth it for all the work and the gray hairs you're getting for after. Once you're done with the clip, you have a clip you like, put it into software like InShot, trim it, meaning you know, the hitting the button to record or at the end to stop recording, cut that out. It doesn't look professional. And then make sure that, you know, if you have a graphic you want to throw in right there in that software, that's fine too. Most of these in-phone edit softwares do a great job with with throwing up a standard, title, and then export it and bring it into your computer for closed captioning, just for your own sanity, because most of the closed captioning needs some correction. Like each time I say, "Hi, this is Nina from Clockwise," you can imagine what happens with the word clockwise. It goes all over the place. It's lower caps. And then when I talk about the naked video series, I want the naked video series. I want that each in caps. So I know I need to go into any kind of closed captioning I do and need to make some changes to it. I just realized it's 3:04. What are we doing, Darius?
We are ready for you to make your offer. I know we didn't quite get to distribution.
No, I got carried away.
I know. And I know we had our own little bits to chime in there as well. So sorry for that. Okay, so what we're ready to do, we actually have some more information for you guys that we didn't quite reach. But more importantly, for those of you guys that need some help with this, that is why we brought Nina here today. And she has an amazing opportunity for you guys to take advantage of. Nina, let us know about that.
Yeah, so oopsie, that didn't work. I have, I was going to send you all a link, which with my little, let me try this again. There we go. Now it worked. Okay. So the first link I'm putting in is, I have lots of free resources. I put them out regularly on LinkedIn. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Nina Froriep there, so hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you thought of the truncated workshop. With this link, you get directly into a sign-up sheet where you can get our lead. We have a resource called. What is it called? I wrote it down. 10 ways to make your video marketing easier, not harder. And it puts you into a little 2-week sales funnel. And during that sales funnel, you get 4 more really useful resources, like a shoot day checklist, a really comprehensive list on how to look good on camera, a lot of the stuff that I talked about today as well. So that is a way to engage with me for free and get some really great feedback, get some really great resources. For those of you who are really ready to get more serious with the video marketing, I have another link, and that allows the 10 first people to use the link to schedule a half hour with me. I would love to offer a free video audit. So I'll be looking at videos you have already done and give you feedback on how you can do them better. This is not a sales call. This is an actual give you value call. So let me see if I can get this into the chat so you can grab it.
He's putting the things there now. Oh, okay. I think you said okay, that one's to all panelists and attendees. I think the first one, though, was only to all panelists. So I'm going to retype that one here.
Oh, can you just grab it? And okay, did I, okay. Oh, I had all panelists instead of all attendees. Okay, Darius is taking care of it. And then also with the first 10 people who sign up for a 30-minute audit with me, if they choose to do the video challenge that we start on November 2nd, which is a Monday, you will get $50 off. So I would give you a code for that. So that's my offer. So yeah, it was great to have you all, and I'm sorry I went over.
No, you're good. I mean, I wanted to make sure that they're aware of what they're offering here, guys. There's tons and tons of free value. Like, you can just look at her funnel and see what a professional services video funnel is going to look like. There's so much tremendous value there. And actually what's in the funnel for you is going to really be of tremendous value as well. She has a lot of really powerful assets that are going to help you overcome some of the boundaries or barriers we talked about. Tons and tons of free value. And then, of course, as we know, that there's layers to this thing. When you want to step it up to the next level, if you're ready to dive in, Nina's going to be able to provide you some more help here. And so we don't have to dive straight into a paying thing. You can take advantage of some of the services she's offered here, where she's going to give you guys some free of her time. And we all know how precious and valuable our time is to each other. So the fact that she's willing to give away some of that for nothing is really incredible. I encourage you guys that are ready to dive in to take advantage of that. And then, like I said, there's another step here where we can really dive in deep. Nina's a master at this. And that's why we bring our partners on for opportunities like this. Dubb is the team. We can provide you with a piece of tech, but people need some more help beyond that. Sometimes they need someone to hold them accountable and give them a program and structure and guidelines outside of what the technology can do. So this is your guys' chance to kind of get some of that for free. And if you're ready to invest in yourself and your business, then you have an opportunity there as well.
Yeah, and somebody asked about the price of the challenge. It's $297. Wow. And you get a shit ton load of value out of it. So go on my website, clockwiseproductions.com, and look it up and ping me if you have questions.
Absolutely. We'll also be sending out the recording of this, and we'll be sending links to these as well. So Nina, make sure you'll get those and put them in the email when we send them out. So thank you guys so much for attending. Hopefully you found some value in today. I know if you were paying attention, you were live and here you got some value. And we'll be getting some more deliverables to you guys. Absolutely sign up for Nina's funnels here. You guys are going to see some awesome things in action. You probably have seen ours, but seeing other people's video funnels is going to open your knowledge. It's going to open your brain up to some really cool ideas. Definitely check it out. And if you guys are into it, she's offered that time on her calendar as well. So be respectful there with her time. I appreciate you guys coming here today, as always. And we're looking forward to our next one. So thank you guys so much for attending, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nina. Bye-bye.
Thank you.